Hello, friends. Events are occurring, so this is our current reality. Welcome, everybody, to SciFiAIguy Plays. It's Monday night. We're going to play some games, but we're not in the same room. I have Justin here over Discord. Say hello to the lovely people, Justin.
Hello to the lovely people. Yes, I am calling in from my house. I not because I have any symptoms or anything, or because you do, but because trains are a common space that I don't want to be moving in right now.
Yeah, that is completely fair. So, for those of you who are somehow unaware, perhaps you're not from around here, which is fine. Perhaps you're watching this after the fact on YouTube. South Australia has had some COVID cases, so we've had a pretty good run, a pretty consistent run of not really having any, or at least, having a few that were known in people who travelled over and then were confined in many hotels. But we've had a small outbreak. I think it's, 17 at the moment? 19?
17 cases. They're currently looking into contact tracing more than 100 people, but okay. 17 confirmed cases at this point.
So we're, there's new restrictions being dropped from midnight tonight. So we're being prudent. We're taking the responsible act. And as you said, Justin, when we talked about it very briefly, you wanted to set a good example, which you typically do. So continuing to do that seems like a good idea.
I thought so. Yeah, and honestly, there are worse things than, Skyping in rather than talking in person. We still get to do the stream.
The worst thing would be
minimal audio issues.
The worst thing would be using Skype. Like, when you say worse things, what you mean actually is Skype itself, which is trash.
It's true. I record the podcast that I do over Skype because that's the audio recording software I have uses that. And it is a beast. And I'm actually, the joke of it is that I was already planning on recording another episode of that this coming weekend.
Yeah. So we know who to thank for this this current state of events. It's you for wanting to make content.
Yeah. So I thought, well, I can't talk about a second wave until we have one. But
yeah, I guess that's a true thing.
So I'll be recording from home while wearing a mask just to be extra safe.
Nice. You want to keep those droplets away from the microphone.
Yeah. So it was me. Sorry, guys. I just needed the content.
Yeah.
But we have a lovely game here tonight, so that's
God, yes.
Thing, really.
Okay. It's defaulted to the high score screen, so let me just show my entire ass here. This is the 1,800 points that I earned doing a test, I want to say, yesterday.
Ooh. Amazing.
So this is... let me just bring it back to the main menu.
Holy hell.
This will do it. Okay, yeah, this is Commander Keen. Let me, if I press escape, will it... No, I don't want to quit. I just don't want to... Okay. Anyway, this is Commander Keen. Invasion of the Vorticons, I think. Episode 1. Something Mars. I don't know off the top of my head. I'm sorry. But yeah, this is a game.
That's amazing.
This is one of several games. So, I played a lot of Commander Keen as a kid. My uncle was kind enough to get us a computer when I was young, and that computer was a 386, which he then upgraded to a 486. And as a young man, I would play the Commander Keen games. I'm pretty sure maybe I only had the demo. No, I feel like I had full versions. At any rate, I never... They just arrived in my home. I never paid money. Like this, I'm sure they were just handed around, from person to person.
That was my early gaming experience as well, was just obtaining games. Unknown providence, they just appeared in my house. But I never... my first home computer was a Windows 95, so I've never played a Commander Keen game.
Yeah. Well, they are from the time before time. I foolishly didn't look up when they were made, but they're old. 1 through...
If only I was in front of a computer myself and could look things up.
Look, you type wikipedia.com/commander_keen into that that Google bar. I'm gonna commit some Foley to audio. Gonna crack open this Kirk's Pasito.
So they were originally released for MS-DOS in 1990 and 1991. Oh no, I've cooked of your Foley.
Oh, that's fine. It wasn't. It was not very good Foley.
Yeah, they exist in the same universe as Wolfenstein and Doom.
You don't need to worry about that. That's not.
That's very important, I assume.
That's like Pixar shared universe thinking. It means nothing. It's interesting, but it has no impact on the text.
And there are ray guns and a pogo stick, and that's all I am going to look at on Wikipedia because I don't want to spoil myself any further for the experience that is going to be Commander Keen. Welcome, Sunshine for Days.
Oh yes, welcome.
We have another viewer. Welcome.
I'm going to deputize you, Justin. You're going to be reading the story to our lovely readers, to our lovely viewers. It's you.
I'm only on, I think, a 6 or 7 second delay, so I'll be watching and reading in real time.
Yeah.
So we have Commander Keen in Invasion of the Vorticons. Billy Blaze, 8-year-old genius working diligently in his backyard clubhouse, has created an interstellar starship from old soup cans, rubber cement, and plastic tubing. While his folks are out on the town and the babysitter has fallen asleep, Billy travels into his backyard workshop, dons his brother's football helmet, and transforms into ... Commander Keen, Defender of Earth. In his ship, the Bean with Bacon Mega Rocket, Keen dispenses galactic justice with an iron hand. Episode 1, Marooned on Mars.
I want to put a pin in the fact that it actually fucking says with an iron hand. This is a child. Dispensing justice? Like...
Does he literally have an iron hand?
No! That's not part of it at all. Like, I did a spit take yesterday when I tested this game. Yeah. Just, it's very strange. Anyway, that's the intro
Judge
paragraph.
Sorry, go
on. That's the intro paragraph for a game, because this is pre-cutscene, right?
Yeah. I mean, so this is what you would have instead of a cutscene. This is your opening scroll.
Yeah.
For which Star Wars has a lot to answer.
I mean, this would have been on the box, one presumes. I didn't receive this in a box because, and we're not talking a large box because we're talking floppy disks, right?
Yeah, you would have received this on a floppy disk. It would have contained no other files because...
Oh, yeah. God, yeah.
Would not have been able to contain other files. It would have been this. Did you have separate disks for each game, or were they all on one floppy?
I think I don't remember, actually. They might have just all been hard installed. Is that true?
Yeah, right. That would make sense.
I don't remember swapping discs, but that doesn't mean I didn't have to, because this was obviously all pre-optical drive. So
yeah, man.
Yeah,
on Wikipedia it said they were all released apart from the Game Boy Color game in 1990 and 1991. So that suggests like they would have been like back to back in a pack.
Well, 1, 2, and 3 are very much like there's no... There clearly wasn't a dev cycle in between them, right? Like, there wasn't, a lot of changes and a lot of going back to any drawing boards. It was only in number 4 that there was a graphics upgrade and a substantial... And I loved 4. I loved 4 so much. And we might get to 4 today, we might not. I'm actually completely fine if we just do a tasting of all 5 that I have on offer. It depends how sick of them we get. Because they're all pretty samey, or at least like the first 3 are very samey, and then the 4 and 5 I'm not too familiar with. But anyway, we'll play around. We'll see what happens. But yes,
that's okay. There's a rich lore. Is what I'm getting.
Please dig in. Give us more.
Oh, excellent. Well, in this episode, I'm hearing sources are reporting in and telling me that aliens from the planet Vorticon 6 find out about the 8-year-old genius and plan his destruction. While Keen is out exploring the mountains of Mars, the Vorticons steal vital parts of his ship and take them to distant Martian cities. Can Keen recover all the pieces of his ship and repel the Vorticon invasion? Will he make it back before his parents get home? Stay tuned! What the Vorticons have stolen. So this is going to be an inventory of the things we have to find in the game, I'm assuming. That's the whole plot? Or at least the first section of the game?
That's the plot of the first game, is explore areas, get these things, right?
Nice, I love it. The Bean with Bacon Mega Rocket was constructed from objects around the house that you have modified into starship parts. A joystick from your brother's video game, Manual Flight Control. car battery from your mum's car, electrical systems power, a vacuum cleaner from the kitchen, heavily modified. That one's been heavily modified.
Yeah.
The car battery did not need to be modified one iota for interstellar travel.
Yeah.
Okay. The vacuum cleaner, which has been heavily modified, I hasten to add, has been turned into an ion propulsion unit with carpet height adjustment. And Everclear from your dad's liquor cabinet, fuel. Why is the liquor cabinet only owned by your dad and the car only owned by... This seems to be... Why aren't things communal? This is...
I don't know. I think Billy comes from a weird home.
Yeah.
Also, side note, do you remember the band Everclear?
I have heard the name Everclear.
Good.
I don't know if I
stop.
could name a song of theirs.
No, you can stop there. That's fine. That's perfect.
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to name a song. If you named a song, I might know it, but...
I couldn't possibly. And honestly, they weren't that bad. It's just like, for me, they're a band that, as moving on, as deciding I need to focus on newer music and not just wallow with the music of my youth, this is one of the bands I've shucked. I'm like, I don't need to remember them at all. That's fine.
Yeah, like, I'm sure there are a whole bunch of bands that, like, have passed me completely by.
Mm-hmm.
And there are plenty of new bands as well that I have no ability to retain.
Yeah.
And Spotify, which I listen to regularly now, means that I don't have to actually remember the names of bands or songs I like. It just retains things. I just acquire songs from the void, and then I just store them in a list.
That's almost worse sometimes, because if I'm... Like, sometimes I won't know where to go for a song that's stuck in my head. Like, just because I've listened to it doesn't mean that I will know which it is on a massive, massive list of stuff I've listened to over the course of a week, right?
Yeah. It's, yeah. I was listening to my Spotify. The good thing is, listening to my Spotify liked songs, I have no idea what I'm going to hear because I don't remember having added anything to a playlist. Even when I click on a song, I don't know what it's going to be. So
amazing.
It's great. Yeah, it's fantastic. Sunshine in chat saying I probably stole parental vodka at some point. I don't think my parents actually drank vodka. I would have if they did, but I don't think they were vodka drinkers particularly.
Vodka doesn't strike me as a parent drink in South Australia, right? Like, that doesn't... Parents with a constant supply of vodka, to me, feels... Just culturally, in terms of, what adults, when I was younger, drank... Just having a bottle of vodka at home doesn't jive with pretty much any of the adults I knew in that time, right?
Yeah, well, at the very least, it wouldn't have been in the communal liquor cabinet.
The
communal liquor cabinet would have been wine, and I definitely nicked wine. But anyway, we need to learn about what the Vorticons
of course,
have been doing.
Of course, please.
So moving swiftly on, obviously, they've taken these pieces to the far reaches of Mars, and they're guarding them. Wouldn't it be easier to guard them if they were in a central location? Anyway, let's not question their strategy so far. You must find the members of this Vorticon outpost, or presumably the several Vorticon outposts, and wrest the parts back from their wicked clawed hands. I don't see why their hands being clawed has anything to do with it.
I don't, yeah.
Their hands are wicked and also have claws. That's just factual. One of those is a moral judgment. One is just a statement of fact.
Yeah.
Information on Mars.
This is deep. This is richer lore than I ever realized as a child.
This is so. Well, presumably you would have just scrolled to the bottom of this and then kept going with the game, right? Or would you have read this lore and really got into it?
I reckon.
Do you remember any of this?
Oh, I remember the rocket. I remember it being made from household parts. I remember that he was a young genius. In the same way that I really liked Lisa Simpson and Donatello, I was a kid. I was told that I was smart as a kid, which, I don't know how much harm or good that actually did, all told. But it certainly meant that, like, I focused on, smart kids in media. So I really liked Commander Keen because it's like Calvin and Hobbes, right? It's like, oh, here's a smart young kid who, is either, impressive in his genius or speaks like an adult kind of thing. I don't know.
Yeah. I get that. I mean, we talked a bit about this in the Braid episode, the ways that being told you're smart can impact your ability to actually take on new knowledge and idolize certain people, and can lead to a character change that is unrelated to your actual intelligence.
Yeah.
And if you want more of that, that episode was great. Unbeknownst to NASA, when the Viking lander, have we mentioned a Viking lander before? This seems like a plot twist.
No, I think the Viking lander was a NASA ship by the.
Oh, okay. So unbeknownst to NASA, when the Viking lander, a NASA vessel, settled to the surface of Mars, I needed to get to the end of this sentence.
Yeah.
Settled to the surface of Mars, it caused a major political upheaval. Viking actually landed on the despotic Martian king. Man, that is pinpoint accuracy.
Also, Mars has kings.
Oh, yeah. Well, I skimmed over that, I guess. The Yorps, the extremely friendly one-eyed Martians, were free from enslavement, and the Gargs, the vicious, aggressive Martians, were angry. So that one of them is a friendly people, and one of them is a vicious and aggressive people.
Yeah.
And both are homogenous, so you don't have to think about it too much.
Well, the friendly aliens you don't have to kill, right? They're just around.
Okay, there are friendly ones that have one eye, and there are non-friendly ones that presumably don't.
Yeah, I'm sure I'll recognize them.
The Martians created robots for menial work and guard duties. Beware of the tank-like guard robots. They're very good at what they do. Very is in all caps, although it's hard to tell because everything's in all caps. Martians have been visiting Earth in UFOs for decades. Why? They come to Earth for one reason. They want our toys. Hula hoops and skateboards are holy objects to them. Who knows, you may find some toys useful. There are signs everywhere. You haven't been able to decipher them yet. ... I would have thought that in the same way that your household tech, like a vacuum cleaner and a car battery, are able to be utilized to make like electronic equipment, I would have thought the aliens might have some use for toys and hula hoops and things like that. And that may be some opportunity for cultural exchange.
Yeah.
But no, it's a religious artifact for them.
Of course, they're so cool.
Yeah. Well, I mean, hula hoops, it's hard to go past a hula hoop. They just keep spinning, and an alien capable of interstellar craft surely has never thought of the idea of a ring that can spin a bunch.
Yeah.
The adventure begins. Your task is before you. Go get him, Commander Keen.
And don't miss episodes 2 and...
And don't miss episodes 2 and 3 in the Invasion of the Vortiguns trilogy.
Well,
I love this.
If I keep scrolling, there's spoilers, so I'm just going to escape to exit.
Oh, really? Those talk about the description of the next 2 episodes.
Well, I think
that's amazing.
This text file, I think, is probably just in all 3 games, right?
Oh, of course. Oh, that's fantastic.
All right, so let's start a game. Did you want to?
I am loving this. It is very silly, but I love it very much.
Oh, I need to hit F1 to look at controls. That's
Go
right. For it. Arrow keys. Control is jump.
Yeah, that seems sensible.
Alt is pogo. Control and Alt are ray gun. Redefine these keys by pressing F3. I will do exactly that. Keyboard mode, joystick. This is pre-mouse. Mouse use was available in number 4, I think.
Interesting. Okay. So you could switch to joystick mode, but you would have no way of retaining. You would have no way of reversing.
Treasures! Yeah, whatever. We're not going for high score here. I will collect stuff as we go about the level, but we can whip through levels. All we need to do is get the parts for our ship, right? Let's RP this.
Oh, I mean, yeah, if we want. I mean, I'm very happy to go, full clear. I'm enjoying the rich lore of this game, and I want to explore the planet. Sunshine asking if we are perhaps keen for this game. That is a pun that I have not been able to stop making since you suggested this maybe 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
I have been saying, yeah, and unintentionally as well, because keen is just a word that is in my general vocabulary. It is a great pain. Oh, okay. So you have page up, page down. Oh, these are your number pad controls.
Yeah, I just want space to be pogo, because I'm pretty sure space was pogo in future games. Or maybe I'm just used to pressing space to jump. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to stick with control. I'm going to use the arrow keys. I think that's okay. I think I'm okay with that.
Sure.
Yeah, okay. Oh, and also this game can be saved. So let's... Where's the... Is it just...
Oh, thank goodness.
No, that's not it. What's this? Oh, Oh, spacebar's the status screen. Have I goofed something?
Oh, okay. So you can't make it the status screen and also the...
Yeah, okay. So that control would not have actually... Oh, no, it has. I've just probably lost the ability. All right, I'm just going to change it back to Alt. Fine, you win. All right, weird. You're weird, game. What is save? F5 is save game. Okay.
Okay. Oh, that's a friendly one-eyed friendo.
Save the game only
so
from
we
the
went
map.
inside. We went inside that blue building thing.
Yes.
Is that what's happening?
We went.
Is that where we are now?
They were mountains. Oh, so this is the problem with these little bastards: is they get in your way. You don't have to harm them.
Oh, amazing.
Oh, look, the id. Justin, I found the id.
That's good. You've got to collect them all.
Yeah.
Id, ego, and super ego,
Yeah.
and then you can win the game. That's how you assemble yourself before you can assemble the ship.
So, crucial to note that these are platforms themselves.
Okay.
So, you know, if you jump alongside, and that's important so that we can get the ray gun. But checking this shows I have 5 charges for the ray gun, and that seems like something I don't want to just spend willy-nilly, especially on these little pacifist things. You will note signs.
Yes, well, they do seem like our friends.
There are little signs around with language on them.
Yes. Is that a language we can eventually understand?
I think eventually you find a cipher, which is to say it's literally just substitution. It's just A to Z.
Fantastic.
Which, you know, what else would one expect? It's like your first D&D campaign. I don't know what books do.
Yeah, that says... What does it say on it? It says
I don't know.
RAM?
I think this is just all going to be treats. I don't give a shit about score. I'm not a gamer.
Pizza, though. Oh no, you jumped on one of our friends.
It'll be fine. Okay.
They'll recover.
How much do I want this? This is a game with lives.
Ooh.
Yeah.
And those things can get you?
Yeah, these things hurt. Everything else here is non-harmful, though. So these jumps are already substantial. This is a game with a pogo... We don't have the pogo stick yet, but this is a game with a pogo stick.
Okay. I mean, that seems like a massive improvement in a game that is based largely around platforming. Just done.
Yeah.
That's so fourth wall break.
Yeah, it legitimately sucks. Alright, let's explore Mars. Also, by the way, you can, much like our map in, what was the game? The Swapper, you can see the bounds of the world beyond these corridors, which is to say, that's the curvature of Mars. It's a little bit balked, but, you know.
Oh, that's fun, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's... I like that as an element that they've added in this game.
And look,
Cool.
I can walk past that one. Okay, so now everything's... Oh, I can't walk past this big cactus thing. I don't remember what these little stones are. Little obelisks. Let's find out. Boop, 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 boop. Oh, yeah! Oh my god, yeah! Hell fucking yeah, I remember these levels.
Ooh, okay. I love the color scheme.
Yeah, look at what they're doing with light and shadow. This is... Oh! Yep. This is all it is.
That's really cool. You hear in your mind, it is too bad that you cannot read the standard galactic alphabet, human.
That is too bad. I agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
Ah, well, I guess there's nothing that we can do about it. The end.
So this game apparently takes like a couple hours, all told.
Yeah, right.
Like it's not big. Oh, there you are. Hell yeah. So Pogo is alt. Yeah.
Wow. So you'd be able to keep going without... Oh, I guess you wouldn't be able to keep going without that because you wouldn't be able to get through certain platforms, so you'd have to backtrack.
Yeah, but this is why you're wearing that helmet. It's not just a space helmet, it's like...
It's to protect you while you pogo.
Yeah. There's fire up there, and I can't remember if that's for anything, or... It's been too long. Alright, that's fine. It's also possible to accidentally exit a level. I exited that one on purpose, but yeah, you can goozle yourself. You can land on the door and just go.
Oh, okay, so you're not, like, pressing up or anything to go through that door. You're just going through the door.
Correct.
Interesting. So that's... It's not, like, optional object interaction. It's very much like you interact when you run into a thing. Yeah.
Well,
You're saying personal protective equipment is crucial. I agree. Oh no, they're plummeting to their doom.
Yeah. This discussion of PPE is especially poignant because if they'd had any...
They might have survived, but unfortunately they have just ended up in a ditch.
Yeah. So, going back to my childhood, I enjoyed these games, but like... You know, I certainly wouldn't say that 1, 2, and 3 are the best things I ever played, right? I wasn't...
Yeah.
I wasn't so taken with them that... I wonder... It's possible that it's because 4 onwards looked better, that I was willing to discard this one. Somewhat. Like, I liked it, but like, when I think of Commander Keen, I think of number 4. I think of the future of Commander Keen, with its better graphics, and I think better controls?
Well, I mean, I think the games that you have growing up that, you know, shape your idea of what games can be aren't necessarily, like, don't necessarily do that because they are the best games, but just because they're the games you have to hand. Like, there are so many games that I played as a kid that were nowhere near the best games, but, you know, are now my idea of, like, what a good game is, or at the very least were at the time my idea of what a good game is.
Yeah.
And it's just the thing that was, you know, present. I mean, this has a lot going on, you know. I could see how someone could be occupied for long stretches of time and not get bored. It keeps introducing new sprites and new puzzles that seem quite difficult.
I died.
I can't believe he got killed by Poochie.
Yeah, well, this was the home planet. He didn't die. Poochie never dies. Alright, so we have to go back and do all that again. That's fine.
Poochie Never Dies is my least favourite Bond film.
Oh, man. I keep meaning to go and check out Loading Ready Run's James Bond podcast. Because I've listened to a bit of it. Yeah, I chucked maybe the first one on and was like, oh, this is good. Oh, they're front-loading the problems that Bond has. That's nice. Let's open with that. Let's be upfront. And then I just didn't go back. Not because it's not interesting. And part of it is because I haven't really watched those earlier films, so there's not a lot of in for me there.
I definitely think the podcast works quite well for movies you haven't seen. It's actually not a barrier, really, to entry for me.
Okay.
Having not seen many of the films. I mean, I've seen the first couple of... Because at one point I intended to watch all of the... Oh, do you need the musical note kind of button thing that was over the left-hand side there to open that door?
I had forgotten all about keycards. Like, to me, this is new. And it's not new at all. It feels new. And I'm meant to be using this fucking pogo stick more, but these controls...
Yeah, at one point I was going to marathon all the Bonds.
Mm-hmm.
And so I started, you know, I watched, you know, Dr. No and, like... all the early ones. I'm not going to try and list them off in order, but
yeah.
But I did that, and the podcast is just as good for the episode for the Bond movies I haven't seen, and in some ways they actually draw attention to how preposterous. Rip. Pour one out.
Oh no, hang on. Let's load our save. Oh. Sure.
You got first place though.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. Continue again? Here is where I go. Number 1. Yeah. Great, let's try that again. Yeah, sorry, you were saying. The Bond.
Yes, yeah.
You fucker! Sorry, you're not the fucker. It is not you who is the fucker, but my hated foe, these little dudes. I have to let them run to their death. That's what a lesson to teach children.
I'm on the same delay as chat,
Yeah.
so I am late to the game in terms of what fucker is ruining your day.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we should definitely name all of our high scores as we go throughout the game.
Yeah,
I should be sure that we should name it after whatever the conversation happens to be talking about at the time.
Yeah.
So that we get a summary of the stream in the high scores list at the end.
I like that.
So yeah, at this point I was talking Bonds. But yeah, it's I think it's a good podcast for that. And indeed, when obviously my main streaming fix is of course these streams, because I'm a massive narcissist, I guess.
Yep.
But when I'm not watching that, Desert Bus for Hope is on this week, which is great.
It is, yeah.
And raises money for charity, which is fantastic. So yeah, that's a good way to spend some time. So yeah, those folks are real lovely.
Yeah, I'm very fond of the Loading Ready Run people. They set a really good example in a lot of ways. I think Control and Alt are murder.
Okay.
So I think what I need to do is kill this big one because it is a problem.
So this guy's bad.
Yes, these are the bad ones. These are the aggressive ones that were mentioned in the opening encyclopedia.
Okay, so that because it has 2 eyes and teeth.
Yeah.
Those are the differentiating factors. So it's bad because it's bigger.
Yeah.
2 eyes, teeth.
The good news is,
yeah,
I can probably just jump down and wait. Has it seen me? Is it going to do the? Oh. Hey.
How complicated is its its AI? Is it
not? I would assume.
Does it react differently once it's seen you? Does its animation change?
I don't think so. I mean, I just don't know. Like, I've spent more time thinking about the slugs and the poops they drop in number 4 than I ever have about these 2-eyed motherfuckers.
And that's fair, because these guys seem very torturous. Can't believe that... Oh dear.
They're coming for you, Justin.
Well, this is exciting. I thought that you had run into Robot Oddjob up on the top level there.
Yeah, I just kind of ignored that guy. He's just there to sort of prevent you from getting the key very quickly, I guess. Now, these dudes, the Vortigaunts themselves, are actually... Yeah, because they do that. They jump. They jump sporadically, making them very hard to shoot.
So they're...
I'm out of shots?
They're like dog people?
I guess.
Yeah, you had 5 shots with a ray gun.
I don't... I'm mad. None of those hits did anything. No, it's not that kind of... I think you can jump on things with the when you've got the pogo stick running, but I can only really remember that from 4, not from this. Okay, we're going to... Because we know the battery is behind him, behind a door. I think we need to go above him. We need to go over his head.
I like this. This is a good strategy. It's unfortunate that our ray gun plan has not worked out.
Oh, no. Ah! Okay.
Well, we got wrecked there. I'm not gonna lie. I wouldn't lie to you. I wouldn't do that.
Justin, just think, you could be playing this today. It could have been you in control.
That would have been exciting. Let's all think about that stream for a moment.
The stream that could have been. Because I'm presuming, for the next couple of weeks, we're going to take it easy. As we should.
Yeah, I mean, it really depends.
Wow, okay.
I mean,
murdered. We're leaving.
Well...
We're leaving this area.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, straight up killed.
That. Wow. Okay.
So I didn't get the battery. So I don't know that you probably can collect extra keys, so to speak, but I feel like this game is, can you collect all the parts before losing all your lives? That's the game. That's the entire game, right?
I mean, as a core mechanic, it's pretty solid. Like it's a good. It's maybe the simplest mechanic you could have.
Yeah.
You know, can you achieve the thing before you? Yeah. Before you have the other thing run into you. So this is that fire pit coming back.
Yeah. I mean, I can... Honestly...
This is one of the things that... Oh, sorry, what were you going to say?
That's alright. No, go for it.
I was just going to say, this is one of the things that I really like about old games is constantly, because of the limited storage space you have, you constantly have to recombine the same assets to create new puzzles in interesting ways.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's just a really interesting facet because of the increased storage space of newer games. You're not constantly having to create new things out of the same materials. I mean, there's still an element of that, but yeah. Anyway, let me read some.
Oh, yes.
A message echoes in your head. The teleporter in the ice will send you to the dark side of Mars. There we go.
So that's, you know, you go to ice level and then you get your way through, I guess.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Like, I'm not going to try and finish the level where the battery was because we're not going to try and finish this at all. So it doesn't really matter because we're just going to skip ahead to game 2 at some point. Oh, we have a good round boy. Hello.
We do. We are collecting pizza on a pogo stick on Mars.
And not Pepsi. Oh, I forgot. Okay, so this is... That's woeful.
Not even once. That seemed rather cruel.
Oh my... No, that's cruel. That's cruelty. Jesus H. McGillicuddy. Okay.
I'm on a delay, so you can really tell when I hear the...
Yeah. So this game... And I'm out of... Yeah, I'm out of gun. Like, you want survival horror? How about you play the first... Oh my god, its animation does change. Oh my god, no. Oh.
That's amazing. Well done.
This game is hard.
Taping that. This game does look quite difficult.
Christ.
And the difficulty seems to be ramping up, you know, as it goes on. But I suppose you have those first levels. Like, if you're playing it properly and you're just trying to occupy as much time as possible, maybe you try and full clear those first levels a few times.
Yeah.
And get every single thing that's in them. And that's what trains you to have the jumping kind of, you know, the very specific skills that you can then apply to these levels.
Exactly. Like, if you're a kid, you want all of the treats. You're playing a video game. You've got to collect everything.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, more gun.
Man.
So the thing about this game that to me continues to set it apart even now is that fucking pogo stick. A secondary movement mode that isn't completely unpredictable, but is close enough to...
Yeah, it's
Jesus.
I really like it because it is oh wow, okay, these guys. Oh, there's 2 of them, great.
There was 2 of them. Sorry, please go on.
Wrecked. I like how they turn into Galumph the frog once they're defeated. Yeah, the pogo stick is really cool actually, because it is
2 charges.
It's a difference of your... Yeah, it's not a double jump. It's not repeating a movement that you already have. It is actually adding in another tool, but that is just essentially a larger version of the same tool.
Yeah.
I suppose other games do that a bit. You know, the most classic one is like you have a gun that fires 1 bullet and now it fires, you know, a pair of bullets that split and you know, fire a couple of beams at an enemy or something like that. That's like something you'd see in games from this era. But
yeah.
Oh, is this how they're representing the dark side of Mars?
I guess so. It's been a while. Let's go to some of these and find out some So I'm guessing we probably left a part behind in that previous area. Like, again, we're not going for like a full clear here, but there's some more of these little obelisk spots.
Well, there's the teleporter that leads to the dark side of Mars. The teleporter in the snow leads to the dark side of Mars. That's the message we read out.
Yeah, but the teleporter took us here, to this area.
Oh, did it?
Yeah.
Oh, bother.
So maybe there's another teleport. Oh no, it said the teleporter in the cold. Oh, maybe there's a teleporter inside the level. That might be true. That might be true. Let's leave. Can we leave? We're just gonna leave.
I love leaving.
We can't leave! Okay. Well, that's interesting. So we have to complete the level, because that's the only way out. Unless you go to the fucking title screen and then reload your game. And guess what we didn't do?
Way back and forwards.
We didn't save a goddamn thing. So we're collecting treats just incidentally, which is good design, right?
Yeah, it's a way of extending the game experience if you give a shit about such things.
Yeah.
But not if you don't.
Yeah, the fact that if you're a kid, you can joyride around on that pogo stick and probably die, but maybe sometimes you don't, is in and of itself a kind of game, right? Like,
yeah, it creates a little bit of chaos, right?
Correct.
Alright,
we have one life left.
What? Oh, we do have one life.
Oh no, is this... Okay, movement doesn't appear to be affected by the ice. Or at least this ice.
But it's going to on those ice blocks at the top, I'm assuming.
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah.
These are...
Oh, what?
That thing has a ranged attack. Cool!
I love ranged attack.
Oh, little snowmans.
Do we need to go down there, though? That's fun. I like the snowman. Commander Keen can't swim, I guess? Hey, what's our name this time?
So
what were we talking about? I'm assuming what were we talking about that wasn't directly relating to the game?
Yeah.
King can't swim. I do like can't swim. Can't swim fits.
Yeah, we've only got like 12 characters. So can't swim works. All right, can't swim. Bam. Okay. So this is Commander Keen, Invasion of the Vorticons, Episode 1, Marooned on Mars. Let's recontextualize this title. The Vorticons haven't invaded shit, right?
Yeah, they live on Mars.
Yeah.
That's their home.
Yep.
We invade. Well, I guess this game is our invasion of the Vorticon.
It's true. And
we are the colonists.
They did steal toys, but is that an invasion? Yeah. Is a sort of drive-by theft of somebody's hula hoop.
Those are my toys.
They didn't kill anyone. We've killed several people.
It's true.
We have a cheer. Good Round Boy cheering 300.
And Good Round Boy is now the cheerleader.
Ooh.
Sorry, the Bits leader.
Hell yeah.
There's like there's an extra icon next to Good Round Boys, as well as, of course, the first subscriber, the founder. It says founder. That's exciting.
That is.
I wonder if that post office box still works.
Post office box?
In the game there. I don't know if you saw it.
Oh, I navigated away. Sorry, because I'm doing the thing. I'm loading up the next one.
Oh, exciting!
Because why the fuck wouldn't I?
What are our takeaways from Commander Keen 1?
It's tough, right? Like I'm more interested to hear your takeaways because for me, that game was a return to my past, right?
Yeah.
So I'm more interested to hear what you think of the experience.
Well, I guess I think that it. So I'd never played like Commander Keen, never seen pretty much any of it. I think I've seen like the little figurine, like not the figurine, but the what would you call it? The avatar or the sprite. There we go. The sprite for Commander Keen I would have seen before.
Yeah. Which is iconic. It's so iconic.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. But I Yeah, I would not have really seen much of that. I I reckon the game is pretty much it's pretty much what I expected. I wasn't expecting it to be on this grey background, I must admit, as this like I know that's a really
Yeah.
minor detail.
Yeah. Yeah.
I remember it being slightly more color coordinated just in the images I've seen, but otherwise it seems pretty much like, of the era. I mean, it's so classic, right? That the whole every element of it is very it's like the digital adaptation of a pulp magazine where it's
Yeah.
just doing all of the klaxons fighting the you know Borg,
Yeah.
and there's the the scimitars landing with your and also doing that very early 90s like ironic thing where like it's like late 80s as well. The kids' toys come to life, and that is the core of the slightly too
God.
dark story about murder and adventure.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
it's something that comes out of the late 80s, but it's also got some of that really early, like, that's a silly thing to be doing, so let's talk about it in a slightly ironic way where it's, um, where it's the car battery from mum's car, and it's it's clearly highlighting how ridiculous those things are
Well,
when they are transposed into the sci-fi setting.
yeah. Like space opera is something I've, spent a little bit of time researching, and this is where my Skylark project originally came from. And
Right,
this is
yeah.
some years on from that. So yeah, they're at a point where being parodic about space opera is kind new enough, right? Like you can sort of poke fun and make this
The
game that
jokes don't even need to be good, right?
yeah
It just needs
yeah
to be doing something that is challenging the genre. And I guess it is both self-insert fiction and also taking the piss out of self-insert fiction,
yeah
which is something that like I really related to as a kid. The idea of like clearly, it comes back to the whole like being a smart kid and being told you're a smart kid. Like
yeah
I'm this game is winking at the fact that you're smart enough to figure out that a kid is actually not able to fly to space using things they've found around the house, but it's winking at it.
yeah
So it's got all of that in the lore there. So is this going to give us roughly the same? This is going to give us the same opening paragraph, and then it's going to lead into a newer story. Is that right?
Yeah, I think this opening paragraph is the same. It says justice with an iron hand. I'm going to presume this is all the same content. It does say, it does give us an in our last episode. So I'll leave that to you, and then I will scroll down as appropriate, trying to, be ahead of the delay.
Yes, absolutely. So Billy Blaze has transformed into Commander Keen, Defender of Earth, and in his ship, the Beam with Bacon Mega Rocket, dispenses galactic justice with an iron hand, yada yada. We've all got there. We all know about how he dispenses justice.
Yeah, I did a lot of that in that playthrough.
I saw you dispensed.
Things were dispensed
to dispense justice.
Look, things were dispensed with. We don't need to say what. Let's not make it overt. We're not that kind of channel. Please continue.
We wouldn't do that. In our last episode, Commander Keen, and you'll all remember this in chat, Commander Keen foiled the Vorticon plot to strand him on Mars. Was it a plot? They just stole his shit.
Yeah.
Recovering all of his ship's parts back from the evil Vorticons, whose sovereign land that he had invaded.
Yeah.
It was dangerous, but simply a preamble to the terror that follows in episode 2, The Earth Explodes.
Yep.
Oh, his parents think he's asleep, but there's no time for napping. A Vorticon mothership is poised above Earth, preparing to destroy every major city with their deadly Tantalus ray. Keen must sneak aboard the ship and stop each Tantalus team from their terrible task. If he fails, the Earth explodes. Of course, this will mean he won't have to get home in time for school. The Earth or no school? After much deliberation, Keen decides to save the Earth anyway. Don't miss an action-packed second of this exciting episode in the Commander Keen trilogy. what Keen must do. As Commander Keen, you must reach and destroy each X-14 Tantalus ray powered by cells from the big purple space amoeba. The Tantalus control rooms are located on various parts of the ship. You start in the ship's galley and must find items to help you on your quest. When you blasted your way on board, you found a nearly empty Vorticon hyperpistol, the weapon of the Vorticon warrior elite. If you could grab some more of those... You still have the pogo stick from your Mars adventure.
Don't worry, we left you the pogo stick. Fuck.
Don't worry, you got the pogo stick, guys. Don't worry about it.
It's chill. It's chill.
I love how it's ramping suspense, ramping suspense. Also, you still got the pogo stick.
Yeah.
Information on the Vorticons. Information that could have been useful in the last game.
Yeah.
All the Vorticons are controlled by the Grand Intellect, some mysterious being on the planet Vorticon 6. That's of no concern now, so I don't know why I'm mentioning it. You must save the Earth by destroying those Tantalus rays. Lucky for you, one of the Vorticons you dealt with on Mars had a blueprint for the Vorticon mothership. Unfortunately, you can't read Vorticon.
Womp womp.
You didn't respond to me doing that. You just did that as well.
Yes, I did.
Amazing. The Vorticons have robots, just like the Martians, except Vorticon robots are worse, I guess.
Yep, they're real shitters. They're not good for you. They're good for them.
Certain areas of the Vorticon ship seem to be inaccessible, I guess. You must find the controls to doors or bridges that will let you continue. The adventure continues. ... Your task is before you. Go get him, Commander Keen.
Space Warrior! What a cool guy.
Space, the final frontier, except if you're on Earth, I guess.
Oh, hell yeah, I remember this shit. Oh, look at this blueprint. Oh, wait, that's so loud. I forgot I need to go into volume mixer and kick DOSBox down several pegs. Yeah. You don't... Well, I can't wait until you listen back to this VOD, my friend, because, whew, it's a spicy volume. I can actually close that now. Yes.
Fantastic. Well, so long as I am still in the mix and can be heard,
yeah,
that's the main thing. That's really the goal of this episode. I'm gonna put on the audio just so I can hear those noises for a moment.
Yeah, you enjoy this.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Well, this was like all through. I think these were the like inbuilt speakers, right? The idea that you would have separate speakers meant that you had the money to buy separate speakers.
Yeah. So this is just, but it's again doing as much as you can with limited resources, which is very impressive, right? Like the reusing the same assets in this sense is, you have a MIDI file. Would it be MIDI? You at any rate, you have quite a low, amount of space that you can occupy with sound, and you just absolutely crush it all day.
I think this is worse than MIDI, if I'm correct. This is below MIDI.
MIDI is my modern equivalent, because I guess that would be the thing that I would see as sampled down. Yeah. Like, I guess I didn't really know that, like, the file types back when I played older games. Like that's me. Like, that's me backforming terminology.
God,
and retrospectively applying it to my childhood.
You ever do that? You ever just go into, like, as a kid, you'd go into those folders and just look at the files, just out of like strange curiosity?
Oh, for sure. The first game that I really did that with, where I actually like played with files and modified them and stuff like that, there was and this is going to be incredibly lame, so prepare yourself. But
I love it.
I got a Chicken Run themed.
Hell yeah.
Video game and screensaver and computer like cursor mod pack in a box of cereal, and this was my like I spent a huge amount of time playing this.
Yeah.
And my computer's cursor for years was Mel Gibson as a chicken, which I later found out is not a great thing. But at least he was a chicken.
Yes.
I mean, I was a child. I didn't know that the chicken was racist.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, it's not something people tell you that the chicken's racist.
We regret to inform you.
It doesn't. Yeah. That was my yeah. What was it? The
milkshake duck.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Milkshake duck. My brain was going ice cream duck, and I was like, that's close enough to be jarring if I say it instead of the actual thing.
Yeah.
I really enjoy this like top of the pops power wall that we have over time.
Yeah,
I don't think they called it a power wall, but that is not an adjacent enough piece of terminology. No one's going to go, oh, the power wall.
I'm frustrated that I'm not a good enough Commander Keen player to know innately when I do and don't need the fucking pogo stick.
This immediately, though, is doing more with the color scheme that I expected.
Yeah. Like, more interesting backdrops. I mean, we're on a ship now. We're not just... Ah!
I mean...
Shoot!
This... Man, you got absolutely stepped on by that dog.
Yeah, I got ranched, brother. Alright.
Ooh.
That is, I think, a perfect time to take a quick break. I think I'm actually fine to continue post-break. I've got some sugar in me. This game is energizing me. We're having good chats. Hanging out with friends in chat.
Love it.
Yeah.
So it'll be more of this game, or I'm assuming we haven't played it for long enough that we will move on to the third.
Yeah.
So we'll keep going.
I'm really starting to think that the next episode of this, like next week, is when we play like Commander Keen's 4 and 5, right? Like,
I like that. Yeah,
so clearly.
2, yeah.
Well, 4 is so. I mean, I'm sort of ramping. Like, I'm pushing a little hard that 4 is really different because it's different to me. So I hope it feels different to you.
This already feels like aesthetically more together than the previous one, but maybe I'm just looking at literally one room.
Yeah.
Because they were all, as we established earlier, they were all kind of turned around in the space of like 2 years. So you wouldn't expect there to be too much happening between the games. But I'm really keen to see what's coming next because it's just throwing all sorts of weird stuff at us. And if nothing else, I have more narration to do after the break.
Amazing. All right. Well, everyone get up and stretch. You know, have a good time stretching those muscles. We will be back in, let's call it 5 minutes. All right. And muting both of us. Friends, we're back. We're back, and we're going to play more Commander Keen for you.
I am keen for it.
The
game.
You did it.
I did the thing. Yes.
We joked about that last week, didn't we? About having something play, like some sort of visual giveaway that indicates, you know, the game used its own name. Like that.
Yeah. We were gonna roll credits every time a game mentions its own name.
There we go. Yep. I just want to roll credits in general, frankly.
Yeah. Not so much in the opening titles, like if it's got the, you know, we're not going to roll credits, but if at any point in the game someone goes, you know, and that was really the braid of it all.
Yeah.
Yeah. When we got handed our Fez in Fez.
Yeah.
Although that actually did do a roll credits because we got handed our Fez and then it played.
That's true, actually.
The word Fez came up on screen and they played kind of an interstitial opening credits.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we've got so you get through this whole room and then you got stomped on by a dog, huh?
Yeah, then I got absolutely moited.
Yeah. Previously on Commander Keen.
So
you got stomped by a dog.
Notably, the Vorticons, I believe that's the name of these folk, are being controlled. Like, they're being mind controlled by another entity, right? Like, that was the The dark
Yeah,
secrets?
yeah. But we won't worry about that for now, or that's not a concern of yours for now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Vorticons, I'm assuming, are portmanteau of vor and emoticon. Wow, you got that guy. Took him down.
Yeah, I've vored him good. I'm very sad that you said that to me, Justin. I'm...
Something your childhood?
So,
yes.
given that we're not meant to be thinking about it, if you just had to guess, what kind of evil entity would you expect there to be, right, that is controlling these Vorticons? What's your guess? Where would you put your money?
I mean, so the Vorticons are the dog ones, right?
Yeah.
Goodness, I would say that it is something... Being this style of game, I would assume that the fact that they are dogs may enter into it. So it may be something like... what's the thing dogs like? I don't know, some sort of like pet treats or... maybe like a... something has a... like a nice smell. And that is the thing that's able to control the Vorticons because like Scooby-Doo seeing a sandwich in the next room and like Scooby-Doo no that's like Jerry from Tom and Jerry sorry, Tom from Tom and Jerry will like float on a waft of smell.
Yeah.
But a similar sort of vibe. I'm imagining that is what all of the Vorticons are headed towards, because that's part of the existential terror of the Vorticons is that they do just kind of move swiftly on. You are not consequential to them. They just kind of pass through you, and if you happen to be in their way, like Bart and Lisa Simpson swinging their arms and legs wildly at each other, then you will be dog stomped, as we established.
It's hard to imagine that you mean anything to these creatures when they really do just go about their day, regardless of where you are or what you're doing, right?
Right, and this is why I think that the mind control element is so interesting, because essentially they are just driven ever onwards, corrupting march of freedom. That's an awful lot of them just kind of like walking towards each other and firing ray guns, presumably past each other. Like they're not
hurting each other. I can also turn the lights off at the start, and I don't remember why the F I would ever want. Oh, I can walk past the... Oh, I'm never playing that level. We're going straight to the top, baby. Oh,
straight to the
what
top.
The Swiss?
Take it to the boss.
Well, it has to be a boss. Look at how many ray guns they're giving me, and I can also turn the lights off. What is that?
Do we want to? Does that turn off the electrical things there? No, it doesn't.
But
that's weird.
This Vortigon is afraid of the dark.
Oh, interesting. That's fun.
If I do this, it won't jump anymore. Okay, that's great.
Should we save at this point? This seems like a point where we should save.
It does, doesn't it? You have to be in the world map to do that.
Ah. Beans.
So maybe this is the only...
That seemed like a timely jump.
It did, didn't it?
It did. And now this dude is just kind of... Ah, that's not your biggest concern. I see. Well, do we want to save now that we are out in the world?
Yeah. Saving complete. Let's kill some Vorticons. So, they don't appear to jump if the lights are off.
Yeah, right.
Oh.
But they don't...
Hell yeah, dude. Alright, gonna shoot this dog in the back. No, it shot me in the face. In the face! Alright. Oh.
I was gonna say look at these speedrun stats, but...
Oh, look, yeah, whatever. We're gonna lose another Keen from this, and I think that's fine. You know, I have no problems dying on this level and then skipping to the third game, because I feel like we're getting the exegesis, right? There are more complex enemies. There are enemies that shoot and run around.
So if you lose, you can't resume from that save?
I presumably can, if we wanted to sort of, you know, fuck around and find out as they...
I like the idea of fucking around in this level for
Oh
a
my
little
god.
longer.
Oh my
Oh
god.
man,
A
this level just keeps
cutscene.
going. Oh wow. Hello. It really is dog-shaped. Okay, they blew up Earth.
We could have saved some cities. Also,
Congratulations.
yeah.
You saved no cities. You got first place.
Hell yeah.
Well, let's enter our name now. I mean, I think there are a lot of contenders for our name at this point. I feel like dog stomping has got to be somewhere in there.
Dog stomped it is.
I don't know if anti-Semitic chicken will fit in there, unfortunately.
No.
Which is a shame.
It's true.
It's a shame.
Okay, well, that was episode 2, The Earth Explodes. I believe I delivered everything that was promised you.
Yeah, I mean, that is true. We should roll credits. The Earth did explode.
Yeah.
That is the game as she is made.
As she's played, yeah. All right, well, I'm gonna
She's made it as she is played.
Gonna kick out the third one, which will not take long at all.
Do that. I'm very keen for that. Yeah. So we'll play through number 3, and then we'll just basically go until we're bored.
yeah. We're just gonna.
What do you want to call it?
I'll try to save a bit more. Oh,
yeah.
we go to their planet. Yeah, I definitely want to. Yeah, we have to have gone to their planet. It looks lush here. It looks exquisite.
That's exciting.
Let me just
keen
continue.
For some, I'll just listen to see if I can hear some sound.
Oh, there's none. There's none yet. I'm still just trying to get the window actually set up. There we go.
No worries.
And
Well, I will vamp with my thoughts about that game. I think it was a real tour de force. I think it was a real improvement on the series. I liked the color management. I liked the move from grey to black for a lot of the backgrounds. I think the palette change in terms of the flicking lights on and off, I'm not actually sure what it influenced about the game, but it's a really simple way to add like visual complexity to the level, so I appreciate that.
Yeah. I similarly liked the, I don't know what it was for, but the ability to turn the lights on and off. So even in the first game, they were thinking about light, right? Because you had those sort of shadowy levels, which in a platformer is not actually... I can't think of other platformers off the top of my head that have bothered with that. Certainly not early ones. Everything is just uniformly lit. Whereas this game had shadows as a concept, kind of. Even if just, like, cool. Aesthetically. Like, I think that's pretty interesting. And maybe that's because it's the idea of traveling to space. Maybe they leaned into, like... Yeah.
I think it's as well the whole, like... It's really interesting the way these games like play with. We're not taking it too seriously. You know, the enemy's like a dog alien thing. Mm-hmm. You know, it's not truly terrifying. But at the same time, there's a really clear, deliberate art style that I think, you know, it is taking itself seriously on that level.
Yeah.
Which is a really, like, there are a lot of games of the same era that don't necessarily get that right. They like make themselves visually like terrible to be like, we don't actually care about, you know, having a strong visual style or anything like that because we're too, you know, edgy.
Yeah.
In fact, the joke comes from not caring about this thing that you've built quite meticulously.
I think back to games like Alex Kidd, which, if memory serves, looked like shit. Like, I don't think that one has aged nearly as well as this in terms of, like, these sort of artistic choices, which is weird to say. Like, all they did was chuck in a few shadows and maybe, you know... I don't know. Like, I mean, you had some, like, I think Carmack worked on this game. Like, some of the big names that went on to make, or were involved in making other games that are, you know... Like Doom and Wolfenstein, right?
Right, but I mean, if you're doing such... I mean, fundamentally, you're doing such a little thing with the visual style, but when you're working on such a small scale of things you can actually do in the game, it has a really big impact. Like, if you're only working with small sprites, small objects, small rooms, then changing the lighting of that room has a much bigger impact. I think you wouldn't necessarily get that in a more modern game. It maybe wouldn't have such a big impact. You would have to do something like with the color scheme as well.
Yeah, it'd have to be pretty stark, right, to sort of stand out in the way that this does, because there are so few things going on.
Although I imagine if there was a scene that you played through and it was suddenly black and white,
Yeah, yeah.
Or it's only top lit in the way that that level was, like we would still say that that is quite striking.
Yeah.
It's just that it doesn't have to do much to be striking in that way, I guess. Wow. And now this is doing yet another thing with the color scheme. Not sure how I feel about that purple. Let's go. Let's do some more reading.
Yeah. Here we go.
Have you heard about this boy Billy Blaze? Let me tell you a story all about how Billy blazed it. In our last episode, our friend William Blaze turned into
young
Commander
Billiam.
Keen. Young Billiam H. Blaze became Commander Keen and foiled the Vorticon plot to destroy the Earth. That's a relief. The disabled mothership limped home. Don't love that use of language.
Nope.
To report their failure to the Grand Intellect. Keen, after taking a short nap, blasts across the brain-bending expanse. Short nap. Brain-bending expanse of space between Earth and Vorticon 6. The Vorticons will be lying in wait, their wicked weapons bristling with pent-up energy, with only one thought on their minds.
Sorry, I should have been. I did a good job before, and then I got lazy.
Hey, you're fine. Episode 3. Invaders must die. Keen blasts through a hyperspace gate and arrives on Vorticon 6. Landing on the island of Vorteville.
Earthville.
Vorteville sounds a little bit too much like vaudeville.
Yeah, it's a little raunchy, right? This kid's 8. He doesn't know this shit. He won't get the reference.
He faces the mind-numbing horrors of some mimes. Or in this case, suburban life. Yep, this is early 90s. Then he will travel to New Vorticon, where life is a dark, dangerous enterprise. He will also have to face the violent forces massed in the Vorticon military installation. After this, he will face the impossible maze of the Caves of Oblivion. If he passes this barrier, he will finally reach the castle of the Grand Intellect, where all his beliefs and fears come together in a titanic, shocking finale. Don't miss the incredible, shattering conclusion to the Commander Keen trilogy.
Not earth-shattering, it just is shattering.
Well, it's not earth-shattering because that was the last one.
No, that's true. I love to be shattered by a good conclusion.
I love to be dog-stomped by a good conclusion.
Yeah.
What Keen must do... As Commander Keen, you must make your way through all the perils of Vorticon 6 and discover the secret of the Grand Intellect. The Vorticon Elder aboard the mothership told you 2 things.
Cool!
1. Yeah, they told you 2 things. Yes. 1, the Vorticons are not evil. Oh, well, then it really sucks that you've been referring to them as evil and wicked for the past every paragraph.
And just shooting them in the torso, like delivering several like mid-body blasts with an iron fist. So that's cool.
The Grand Intellect is controlling them with mind belts. Okay, so the dogs are wearing leashes, and that's what's controlling them. I wasn't far off.
Yeah.
I'm going to claim that. I'm going to chalk that up as a win.
Okay.
And I don't think it is, but I'm going to chalk it up as 1 anyway. And 2, the Grand Intellect is from Earth. Who could he be? It's like my dad or my brother, right? Like, it has to be.
No.
Or, wait, High School Principal.
No.
My dentist?
Justin, you're putting more thought into this than perhaps anyone ever has, and bless you for it. This is why I asked you this question.
I'm going extremely 90s memes, right?
Yeah.
Like my high school principal, my dentist, my maths teacher, school bully, Crafty's saying. Oh, yeah, I like all of this.
Think about this. Young Billy Blaze is a smart kid. Who...
Oh, it's like a kid that's not so smart.
No. The other way.
Another smart kid?
The smarter kid. Yep. He's marginally smarter, and thus he's had to dominate an entire alien race to prove it. Spoilers,
Sorry,
I guess.
I inhaled my microphone.
Okay.
information on Vorticon culture. Oh, they have a culture now. That's
Yeah,
interesting.
let's shoot it.
Now that we're invading, let's find out about the local culture.
Yeah.
Vorticon life is much like our own, except for the following: blue skin, long ear. These aren't cultural facts. Let's learn some cultural facts about the Vorticon. They have blue skin.
I went to Canada, and their culture is much like our own. Teeth, hairs in and around the nose.
Canadian life is much like our own, except for the following: blue skin, long ears, bangs, anti-gravity cars, teleportation devices, and so on.
The list goes on.
And I could go on, but I'm not going to. Some other inhabitants include the easily frightened Foobs and the race of jovial, incredibly bad singers, the Meeps.
Why? One of my favorite genres are bad sci-fi and fantasy names. And what's interesting about it is they're honestly no more made up and ridiculous than a lot of the other ones that we're used to now. It's just they've fallen into a stripe that we're willing to take more seriously. I would love to unpack that. I'd love to have a serious conversation about what is it. I guess the stuff we're more okay with is probably just more, honestly, appropriative and thus sounds a bit more like actual language, right?
Yeah. Well, it's we've actually tried to flesh out characters is a thing that we do now. I mean, I like to think of myself as both a Foob and a Meep.
Okay,
I'm easily frightened, but I'm also jovial and an incredibly bad singer. So it's like a really good intersection of the two worlds. I sit at the intersection of that Venn diagram. One dangerous aspect of Vorticon life is the nature of their children's toys. Oh, they have children's toys. They worshipped them in the first one.
They have children. I'm probably going to shoot plenty.
Yeah. They worship hula hoops in the first one.
Yeah.
They like to play a form of jacks. What an old game.
Yeah.
Where the ball is the size of their body and the jacks are deadly. It doesn't really sound a lot like jacks.
Yeah, they have a planet-wide kink. Watch out, it's dangerous.
And be careful of Vorticon mums. They're very protective. Yeah,
Jesus.
When you're going to be murdering their children.
So we're going to Hornville. We're going to the Vaudeville Kink Island, but watch out for Mum.
Yeah, there are a bunch of mimes that like to play a game with what appear to be underwater mines. Yeah, there is also a rumor of the giant beast of Loch Ness, known affectionately as Messi. This is wow. They really. The next two paragraphs.
Yeah. Yeah.
Known affectionately as Messi. The land-based defenses of Vorticon 6 consist of the Vorta Ninjas, the deadliest fighting force in the galaxy. They have been trained by the Grand Intellect to take no prisoners. That's not really a thing you need to be trained to do.
I want to see that training montage where all they're doing is taking prisoners and they have to be weaned off, right? You've got the spray bottle, you've got the newspaper. No!
If they do take a prisoner, their face is rubbed in it.
God, it's just kink upon kink in this fucking game. This game's disgusting.
They delivered a shock via their mind belt.
Yeah.
So the Vorta Ninjas, are they dogs or are they not dogs?
No, I think they're the same. I think they're wreathed in black, apart from a little eye gap, like the thigh gap, but for the eye, for a dog. You know,
Crafty pointing out that these mothers are very protective, but let their kids play with lethal toys.
It's a well fleshed out universe. It's true.
Jesus Christ. I like the premise of this game, which is that Commander Keen must die for the simple crime of invading their planet and attacking their children.
Yeah. Yep. They retaliated even a little bit, and now he's going to kill several of them.
Yeah. Those bastards. But at least we have this... What is that symbol on the left-hand side that we've got to...
So I can't get past either of these.
It's an ank
so it's
on the left-hand side. Oh, it's a teleport. Oh, cool. Teleportation puzzles.
But yeah, collecting anks is a thing. I think this game was because I was one of those kids who was into Egyptology for that sort of brief window that I think a lot of kids went through, where you just suddenly obsessed with hieroglyphs.
Oh yeah, it's great. It's great. We have a weird number of resources on ancient Egypt. Yeah.
They've kept having chocolate bars everywhere.
Yeah, we had them in space, and we also have them just in the sky of Vorticon. Honestly, this is supposed to be an evil planet, but the Vorticons have like chocolate that floats.
They have homes.
Maybe we should learn something from these people. Yeah, they're just like living in their homes. What if we went into their home?
And I'm dead. I should have shot that one in the face. All right, let's go here instead. Oh wow, that thing just exploded. Gross.
Make no mistake, if a Vorticon had the chance to destroy you and everything you've ever loved.
Yep.
Come
on. No, you... Alright, fine.
Like the waterfalls, do you die if you fall in the Vorticon water?
I'm not sure. Other water... the water on Mars was incredibly toxic.
That's true.
Oh no. Wow. This game's not easy. But it is the third. It is the third in the series. Okay, that's fine.
Did you get killed by a Vorticon child, or does the Vorticon have a pet dog?
Yes.
I'm talking a couple of deaths ago. I apologize.
Get off the couch. Step down from the couch so I can kill you.
Oh no, that was a dog in a diaper.
Yeah, okay, that was a youngin.
That is a Vorticon baby. I like their painting of a terrifying hooded figure.
Oh, that's probably the Grand Intellect, yeah.
Yeah, that's the kid from your school.
Yeah. And I'm pretty sure, like, his nickname for you is your IQ, because, of course, this is a game that, you know, the kid knows his IQ and is thus insufferable.
I mean, I can't relate to that at all. Good Ramboy saying, that baby just ran straight up that cliff.
Relatable.
Yeah, that baby just, like, it didn't even run off the cliff, it just kind of shot across the screen. Like, it just goes... Oh, hang on. It went up on the couch that time, and then the guy got out. Oh, we got first place. What are we gonna... Baby... Yeeting the baby? Baby yeet? Baby yeeter?
I think yeeting baby.
Yep. I support this.
I wish I could send this high score back in time. Just trying to imagine a world in which I made sense of this. So, like, okay, thinking back to these 3 games, I did not finish them. Well, no, I remember the big ending, so I must have finished the 3rd one. I must have finished this one, because I remember, you know, meeting the kid, right? So, I think this world actually sucks less. But these games are like... Again, it's that thing of you're a kid, these are the games that you have, so by Jove, you will play them.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's not even really about the quality of the game, although, I mean, this is not bad as far as games of its era, like, go. It's pretty...
Yeah.
I don't understand what any of the sprites are, but that's not different to, you know, like Mario or anything.
Yeah, like if you don't have full literacy in the game, it doesn't necessarily make amazing sense, right?
Or even if you do, like, you just have to kind of take it at face value to a certain degree.
Yeah.
You know, like, this makes no less sense than, you know, a bunch of, you know, Goombas running around the planet, and then you have, you know, giant plants that eat you, and also there's a bullet that sometimes shoots across the screen.
Oh god, yeah.
You're doing it all to capture your girlfriend who's a princess, even though you're a plumber and your, you know, class structure doesn't work.
Yeah, even though you're a fucking plebeian.
Yeah, and you're trying to save her from a giant dinosaur turtle. Like, that doesn't make any less sense. I think it's just like, I have no context for this game, right? Like, this is my first time seeing any of these characters or any world. And And also, I think the fact that it is like tongue-in-cheek and also taking a lot of it seriously is kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Section. Oh, those weird dogs.
Yeah, this is really difficult.
They look a little bit like dogs, but they also look a little bit like I'm seeing like yowies actually.
Oh god, yeah, I can see that. Why don't you tell the viewers at home what the fuck a yowie is?
God, I'm trying to figure out how to describe a yowie. So a yowie is a real, I believe it's like a real, what would you call it? A real cryptid from Australian like folklore.
Yeah.
That also, can we get back up now? Oh, okay, yep. That was made famous by a bunch of like chocolate lollies. Is that how it works?
Yeah. That was probably my first foray into the genre. Yeah. Was by fucking eating one.
Yeah. So they kind of had it's kind of like an Easter egg that was decorated with like a face, but it's like a whole body of a creature that is mostly a face because it's like a children's monster creature.
Yeah.
Kind of a similar vibe to say like a where the wild things are kind of monster.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and they were very bright colors, and haunting. Absolutely, like, I can't remember what their names were. The Crafty has pointed a couple of links to the history of Yowie country and the chocolate-coated animal toys Yowies. So that they're kind of like the lollies were kind of like a Kinder Surprise, but they had another fictional or mythical creature on the outside. Yeah. And they looked like these horrifying dog baby things.
Well, Vorticon dog babies are absolutely kicking my ass, and I think the game wants you to murder children that aren't being mind controlled. I think that's the ethos of this game. As a child, you should kill another child, because otherwise you just get absolutely boondoggled.
I want it noted that there are a group of fearful creatures on Vorticon that are known as the Foob, and one of the Yowies is known as Boof. So it's entirely possible that they take inspiration from this game. I'm not gonna rule it out. That's all I'm gonna say.
Justin, this is a maze. I've walked into a fucking maze.
Oh, I love these. You get them, yeah.
Wow. Good Christ. So I don't remember the gun combat in this at all. Like, that is not what my brain has remembered after all these years. What I've remembered is the pogo stick and the candy everywhere and just bouncing around. And obviously, 4 and 5, which had a very different aesthetic again. But,
yeah.
Good God. So, earlier in the stream, you cracked open Wikipedia and you began to read out about Commander Keen, and then you stopped because you didn't want to spoil yourself. Spoil away, my friend. If there's any more you wanted to know, if there's any interesting facts you wanted to recount about Commander Keen, the floor is yours.
Well, so interesting. So, Invasion of the Vorticons was released wholesale as one game.
Oh, okay.
On December 14th, 1990, and that's divided into the 3 episodes. Then the second one, which would be, which is referred to as episode 3.5, Commander Keen and Keen Dreams.
Oh,
was
God.
Released in 1990.
Yeah, I never got my hands on Keen Dreams.
Right.
I don't think I did.
Goodbye Galaxy is the second main game. Consists of episodes 4 and 5, so this would be why you would see a big difference between the games.
Yeah.
That was released on December 15th, 1991, so a year and a day later.
Wow.
So not... Yeah, that's it's a difference, but it's a difference of a year and a day.
Yeah.
And then you have the final id-developed game, which was originally going to be the third episode of Goodbye Galaxy, then became a standalone game and was also released in December 1991. And those are the six. 6 plus the one that's 3.5, much like D&D. I don't have a 6 yet. This is a bad analogy. But yeah, those were all released in the space of a year and a bit. Pretty amazing.
That's fascinating. Also, I just got ruined.
So there was going to be a third set of episodes called Commander Keen in the Universe is Toast, but and it's actually shown in the epilogue of Goodbye Galaxy and Aliens Ate My Babysitter, which is the 6th one. But it was cancelled because of the success of Wolfenstein 3D, which came out in 1990, the year after that game, and their work on Doom, which came out in 93. So these games came out, like all three of them came out in 1990. Then 4 and 5 came out in 91. Wolfenstein 92, Doom 93.
Wow.
So they were churning out games year after year. That is an incredible development cycle.
Should we? God, I would not mind playing Wolfenstein after this, actually. Maybe, because I played a lot of Wolfenstein as a kid as well, and one thing I did was I did not play that game with sound. I don't even think I played this with sound. I don't think we had speakers.
I'm not watching you play this with sound, so
That's
I'm getting
true.
a more experience of your experience of the game. But yeah, if we play 1, 2, 3, and then 4 and 5, then either we have to play 6, or we have to just skip straight to Wolfenstein, the next game, the spiritual sequel.
Well, same world, right?
Yeah, they do exist in the same universe
For some fucking reason.
Which is hilarious. Well, it makes sense if you think about, like, they weren't sure which of the games were going to be successful, so they, potentially, there's Messi. We saw Messi briefly on the side of the screen.
We did.
But yeah, when you consider that they didn't know what games were going to be successful, it makes sense that you would just set all your games in the same universe. So if people are fans of one of your games,
that's true.
They might, get something out of the lore of all the games being connected.
Imagining someone getting anything out of this and laughing. I mean, in fairness, I fucking loved this game growing up, so I shouldn't rag on it foolishly.
Good Round Boy asking why the soda is called DV. I'm going to theorize that it is Diet Vorticola.
Oh, yep.
I'm almost certain that is the pun that they have not worked into the game yet, but will work into the game later. Oh, that guy's big. That guy is a yaoi.
That's the mother, I think. I think I just killed a mother.
Well, they're very protective.
Yeah.
Of their bones.
Internal organs.
Of their innards and those of their family.
Oh, shit. Oh, no. Justin, you can stand on clouds.
Oh, amazing.
This is the real test. You know what the most awful test is? The ceiling is the top of the level is a ceiling.
Fantastic.
So there's a jump limit on this jump. Alright.
Spectacular.
Oh, I got it, and then I botched it completely. That's fine. This game is hell! Alright, cool. I'm glad we're not trying to finish these, because, oh, this wallpaper. Outrun. Bullet! No! Ah! Alright.
I mean, you can run faster than a bullet.
Yeah, Keen is, disgustingly powerful. The alien should be trying to kill him. Oh, I'm back at my ship. That's not helpful at all. Alright, so I go here. Let's go here.
So are these like little Stonehenges? I'm trying to figure out what the image is supposed to be on the overworld.
I think those are the suburbs. And then the ones with the walls around them are the cities. That's my guess. Let's go into a fort, whatever this means.
That makes sense. I mean, normally a
saved.
suburb is on the outskirts of a city, not randomly deposited several miles from any.
Well, speaking as somebody who designs really awful maps for D&D, you watch your fucking mouth.
I don't think you would call many of the things suburbs. I mean, yeah.
Oh, this is one of the heavily defended forts.
I love the collectibles in the shape of an arrow. That's really... Man, that takes me back.
Yeah, right?
Oh, man.
What was your first big platformer, if indeed you had one?
The first platformer that I absolutely devoured would have been... that I almost full cleared would have been Inspector Gadget for the Game Boy Advance.
Oh, wow.
That was a... Yeah. That was a... that wasn't the first platformer that I played, but that was the first one that I really tore through. I mean, we got first place. So that's good.
That's good, yeah.
Yeah, Inspector Gadget was amazing. And that was the big one that was brought to mind by the arrow in the shape of, all the collectibles. Sorry, the collectibles in the shape of an arrow. There we go. I think Inspector G.
Yes. Full stop. To assert dominance. Hell yeah. All right. Cool. I mean, I think that basically, that's really all we need to see of that.
I mean, that's spectacular.
Yeah.
What a world.
What a rich lore.
And so I assume we'll be back with more id Software games in the form of Commander Keen 4.
Well, I mean, you know what? Let's see if I can't tease you with the opening screen.
I'd love that.
I too would love that.
Spectacular.
Oh, this is going to be delectable. It's not even like the opening screen of the game. It's like the prep screen. Just give me a minute to dot my I's, cross my T's. Oh no, it's already done it. It's already done it. Okay, so that's already done that. So if I now go here, are we going to capture it? We are. Oh, but it's comically oversized. Hey Justin, you know how you love vamping?
I do love vamping. Yeah, I'm really keen for the next game and just to see how much the art style has changed. I've really this has been a real journey, and it's interesting because I thought there had been a progression in terms of the time between when these games were developed, but it doesn't seem like there actually was. I mean, if they were all released in one package, it's possible that they were still developed in a linear fashion prior to release, but it's interesting to see the development of the art style and the new kinds of puzzles. I suppose once you're in the third episode of a pack that's all being released at once, you can kind of in the first stages go right into the maze puzzle or something like that, or just dumping a pile of enemies on someone. You don't have to teach someone the mechanics of the pogo stick again or anything like that.
Yeah, you can really punish a player because they should know better, right?
Yeah, you're kind of dropped in. I mean, the first game also drops you in media res, but it still has to tutorialize you. Fun. I mean, I immediately like the color scheme. Purple and blue are the colors of my energy, and they go very well with the background of the streaming setup, which
they do. Oh, hell yeah. That's pleasing to know that I happened across that. Let's press a key and see if it... Damn it. So it was the right size before. Okay. Well, you can just watch me change it in real time. That's fine. This is not too onerous. But yeah, this extremely OTT fucking intro for Commander Keen.
This is so good. I love this. This is a Bond intro. I remember we were talking about Bond earlier.
We were.
This is just like the use of the black and grey.
Yeah, look at this art.
Chris.
Look at this art, baby. Hell yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing. That's a year
Oh,
later.
the demo. Here we go. Watch the demo. I don't even have to play for you. Look at this. Oh shit, there's music.
Oh, great.
This was not the sound that I had growing up. Let me turn that down. There we go.
Oh, that's immediately what a change in the animation after just 1 year.
No, you're not collecting candy, you're collecting water drops. Oh, you go into rooms and buildings? Oh my god, this fucking game.
This is... that is amazing. I mean, I suppose what you're doing, right, is you've got the mechanics that you've built in the first game, and you're layering over that kind of engine.
Yeah.
Your new, which I guess is a new. I wonder how new that is as an approach to gaming at this point. The idea that you would build, a structure of rules for your game. I mean, I suppose you have that in point and click adventures and stuff like that. So that's an existing idea, right? That you build a framework and then you layer a game on top of it. But wow, this is like an opening scroll.
Yeah.
It's just they have spent that year well, and they did not spend it on coming up with any better buzzwords or sci-fi terms.
Well,
I will read that out next time.
Oh yeah,
and
for
I'll
sure.
read it out in real time without you being able to scroll it.
yeah. You'll just have to. Yeah, you'll just have to do it.
Good Brown Boy saying this is unrecognizable. It absolutely is. It's a completely different, look for the game.
Oh, these fucking levels. Hell yeah. The weird Mirage levels. You jump on floating VCRs and get ice cream. Oh, shit,
VCRs,
yes.
Now that's the future.
Oh, the sliding down poles. Yeah, the level design is way better. I really like the sort of the isometric.
So sharp, so clean.
Yeah, you can shoot up and down. You can shoot up and down. Fuck yes, I remember that. I'm gonna do so much better next week. Hell yeah, I'm so pumped. I had a thought though. You were talking about how they spent this year, pouring time and effort into improving what was going on with their game. It has me wondering how much time and money they had for the first trilogy, because they were a smaller company back then, right? This is before Wolfenstein, this is before Doom, so this was not a company that was a cultural touchstone at this time.
Absolutely not, no.
So yeah, this would a Commander Keen in the first instance was their first big breakout game, I guess. But it's forgotten now because people talk about, I mean, Wolfenstein had more impact, let's be clear. All told...
I had still heard of Commander Keen before you brought it up.
Okay, yeah.
So, I'm aware that it exists in the pantheon, but I don't know if I would have if, Wolfenstein and Doom didn't exist. So it's interesting. I mean, the other thing that's really, it's one of the things where if you are doing... these games almost seem like a proof of concept for the engine in some ways as well.
Yeah.
That it's this is the way that you make... It's one of the things you see with, some bad movies are just a proof of concept for the technology, and it's not actually the best use of that technology yet. It's just we invested so much in getting this technology right for this movie so that we could use it in other movies afterwards.
Yeah.
That now we have to put out the movie. The movie actually sucks and is not ready, but look at what we will be able to do in the future. We're essentially just putting this movie out there so that investors in our company know that in future years we're going to put out some really cool shit with great graphics.
Well, Avatar is remembered as a film that did 3D really well, and everybody really, that was... I'm pretty sure Avatar was the big 3D film, right? That was the big...
Absolutely. Yeah.
I saw a 3D film before...
3D
I saw, because I saw a 3D film before Avatar, and it was some sort of journey to the center of the earth thing, and it absolutely stank. It was a real shitter. That film was absolutely fucking terrible.
Yeah, and I mean there was an attempt to revive it in the mid 2000s with Spy Kids 3D, and Shark Boy and Lava Girl, and a few other games, kids movies like that have been rightly condemned to the passage of time. But Avatar was really all of those were some of those were proof of concept movies, right?
Yeah.
It's yeah. Um, yeah, it's really interesting. Although I guess yeah, I could go deep in the weeds on Spy Kids 3D, if need be, because that was made by Robert Rodriguez, so it's actually not an awful film, even though it is like all of those films are made by Robert Rodriguez, who also made like good films.
Yeah, yeah. Like I remember the first one having its charm, but I mean, I also just have I'm also just very fond of what's his name? He played the dad.
Oh, Antonio Banderas?
Yeah, yeah. I have a fondness for him.
Yeah, yeah.
Particularly when he's not taking it seriously.
Also, oh goodness, the who am I thinking? Danny Trejo plays the uncle in that, and then that's where the film Machete came from. It is the Uncle Machete in Spy Kids is the basis for the adult action movie Machete.
Jesus,
yeah, and
Christ.
Alan Cummings is in a bunch of those films as Floop. So like the cast is very well put together.
Well, look, let's save these Spy Kids deep cuts for next week.
I can go so deep in the Spy Kids deep cuts.
Before we step away from Commander Keen 4, I just want to gesture towards this being the menu. This is his watch.
So this is an early Fallout game, right?
Yeah, exactly. And it even has Paddle War.
Oh, that's fun. That's good fun.
Yes, I played a lot of Paddle War. I played too much Paddle War. Doesn't mean I'm good at Paddle War. Okay, I give up on Paddle War.
I love this in games. Gosh, that would have been early as well. Press F1 for help and order info.
Yeah, exactly.
If you want to order the rest of the games in the series.
Yeah, you would send a letter or something, right? Like the order info is who to mail to get the next game, or something, or to get a catalog.
Yeah, we need to set up a press F1 for order info on the stream. Can we do that? Can we set that up? You're powerful within Twitch now, right?
Press F1 to order your free copy of Neptune Today.
Absolutely. It's a free magazine. You can just ask me.
It's true. Well, Justin, now that we're wrapping up, I would like to invite everybody watching here, if you haven't already, to check out Neptune Today. It's on all the socials, and I do mean all of them, which is to say some of them. I don't actually know what it's on. I'm cool, and thus I just get the magazine in my house. Justin also does a great podcast, Radio Lockdown, which sounds like might be coming back because Adelaide is having a little bit of COVID trubs at the moment. Just a little bit.
Like it. I mean, yeah, incidentally, actually, because I mean, we were planning on bringing it back just because we like hanging out and talking to each other, but unfortunately, I have I've said a prayer in the wrong on the wrong crossroads or something like that.
Yeah, you were facing the wrong cardinal direction. It got misinterpreted.
Yep. But yeah, that will hopefully be coming back, and I'm looking to produce more stuff as well. And I'm also looking for writers at the moment with thoughts about the year of our Lord 2020. So if anyone would like to talk about that, hit us up. We're always free for contact on any of our socials: Facebook, Twitter, TikTok. I don't check that one very often.
I was going to say,
you can just email us. neptunetoday@gmail.com is a place to pitch stuff or to advertise with us and all that sort of thing. Anyway, those are the ads. This fantastic channel is a Twitch affiliate thing, which means you can subscribe to it and you can do things to support you. Yeah, that's a thing you can do now.
Yes,
I can actually see the button because I'm at home, so I can actually see that you can subscribe with 20% off. That's exciting. What an opportunity. You can unlock a founder badge as one of the first subscribers.
Yeah. Well, good Round Boy has the first, earned that.
That looks that sounds extremely good. So or if you already have an Amazon Prime thing, I think you can do it for free.
Yes,
if you
you link your Amazon Prime to your Twitch Prime, and then every month you get one free subscription. So you get to rip $5 off of Jeff Bezos and give it to me eventually when I pull enough cash to withdraw it.
Fantastic. I love that. Do you have other projects you want to promote, or are you...
No, I mean, I've got my webcomic, Only the Truest of Fact. Just Google that. I post it on Instagram now as well. That seems to be the easiest place to catch it. It also auto-uploads to Twitter and Facebook. But, no other projects apart from... Oh, I have a Patreon as well, but, that's all pretty esoteric. And I have a lot. Links are down below. Please hit like, subscribe, all the usual stuff. Beep, boop, 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 boop. Me and Justin will return maybe next week, maybe the week after. We'll see about energy levels. It'll almost certainly be socially distant, and we will return and complete our little foray into Commander Keen and my very strange childhood.
I'm so very Commander Keen for it. And if you're on our social things, you will get updates on when that will be.
Yeah, just follow those accounts. I'll post. I typically post on Monday what's going on, and then we go live, and it's a good time. So please join us, friends. We enjoy it, and hopefully you will enjoy it also. Anything further to say to the lovely people, Justin?
Just thanks so much for tuning in, and I look forward to seeing you soon. And if you are, especially if you're in Adelaide, stay safe out there and take precautions and all that. And we will see you. Well, you will see us soon.
Yes. Yeah. All right, everybody. Keep safe. We love you dearly. Good night.
Good night.